The goal of this module is to have understanding of how to subtly reshape the buyer's identity from it's always someone who hesitates, someone who can't actively make a decision well, someone who um, needs to think about it, mill it over, to someone who takes decisive action, someone who's actually confident in the product. They just get it, they're excited, they get off the call, they accomplish something, right? You're basically enrolling them into a new self concept, giving them a new buying identity. So I've broken this down into three sections, making it a more applicable process. So this is not just theory. Um, the first is to use meta model questioning to extract limiting beliefs, because you need to first bring it to the surface, okay? Because these dig into like the vague or like limiting statements to reveal what's truly the issue, what's the problem, what has to be solved, what's the identity blocks. Because it's gonna be question answer, one sentence answer, one word answered. If you're not able to go a bit deeper, and then you go nowhere, those are the worst calls. So, saying I'm just not sure this will work for me, you have to clarify what exactly makes you think it won't. People gloss over too many things. I think when I do call reviews, that's the biggest thing, right? For example, if someone says, I've tried things before and they failed, what specifically did you try? What was missing? And then the third example, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the ideology, why there's the third one. I'm just not the type of person who can do sales. What makes you say that? When did you decide that? Right? These are top of the line questioning. Because when someone gives you something that's like, okay, this is the point of contention that I have to pre-handle, we want to be able to get to the point of asking really high pressure questions, but we have to preface it. I'm just, for example, the first one, I'm just not sure this will work for me. What exactly makes you think it won't? Okay, what do you think it will? Do you think our program will work? Right? You can't just ask, do you think our program will work? It has to be prefaced questions. That's why when you look at frameworks, you have to understand it sequentially. That's very important. Okay? So because your whole objective is finding, then exposing their limiting identity level beliefs. Um, and used emotionally charged language because people won't respond to anything subtle. I don't care if it's a credit funding offer, a fitness offer, a construction offer, detailing, I don't, doesn't matter. It's all necessary. Second thing is to use embedded suggestions to redefine their identity. Because once limiting beliefs surface, you have to use language that subtly reprograms how they see themselves, right? So subtly, like you're the kind of person who doesn't back down when something matters, right? Like most people hesitate, but it sounds like you're not most people. Like people like you know, the ones who take initiative, they always see ROI. Include them. Like it has to be subtle. It has to make sense as well. It's basically future pacing. You're speaking as if they've already. You're just showing them, and they are going to already join. Presuppositions, like as you move forward with this, you'll probably notice you start thinking differently about X, Y, Z, what you're capable of. I mean, when you get inside the program, it's not. Yeah, people who've gotten saw this, felt like this, they found this, felt, feel, felt, found. Like it's not that. It's being clear with directly speaking, extremely subtly redefining their identity. They might not be someone who showed anything of showing initiative. Still show initiative. Describe them as showing initiative. They'll rise to the occasion. The third thing is to lock it in with future pacing. The third thing is to move forward with commitment language. So once you get to this point, once identity is redefined, you got to anchor it into the future and then tie it to action. That's how you make the sale. You collect cash. You're a closer, right? So typically, it's like, so when you look back, a month from now after making this move, like, what do you want to be proud of, right? Typically, be like, hey, let me challenge you, right? They give you an objection. It's like, The 6 months out where you're successful, you're at 10K months, you're at blah blah blah. What would they do now? What decision would they make now to take action? Exactly. So I challenge you to now, that version of you. I'm seeing step forward right now. Like, it's not the past, but the one taking ownership of it today. Like when you use commitment language for them, and then having them assert it, being like, "Yes, I agree, exactly this." It's extremely powerful, very very powerful. Because there's different psych principles at play, like cognitive dissonance. Like they can't say, I'm the type of person who takes action and then not buy it. In their brain. There's no way. Or the self perception theory, right? People act in accordance with how they see themselves, and once you've attached a new buying identity, a persona to them, they will act in accordance to it because that's how they already perceive themselves or label. Now that's the eureka moment for them, where they're able to take action. Correct? Following me? Another principle at play is linguistic reframing, right? It changes meaning without direct confrontation, without saying you're wrong, it's this. It's flowing them into the action, into the state of taking action, of buying. Right? And when these couple things are put together, like okay, their brain sees it this way, the perception sees it this way, what they speak linguistically, they say, how could they possibly not buy? How? Uh, So take this into account. Like this is something that you apply over any sales framework. It's really powerful stuff.